For the last 10 years or so, I've hunted with a longbow using carbon arrows with great success. But if you want to get back to a more traditional way, you hunt with these wood arrows, handcrafted. These were made by Joe Callahan of True North Arrows right here in Michigan. That is awesome. In today's world, we are bombarded by the notion that the latest is always the greatest. You have to have the newest gadgets to be successful. Joe Callahan is not a guy who preaches that whatsoever. He's the owner of True North Arrows, a company that caters to guys building their own arrows or ones that want to shoot wood arrows like the old days.
A little over 10 years. Started making arrows with an environmentally safe product line because I did not want to smell lacquers and solvent-based products. So I came out with the True North Arrow Paint Division line, which is what I consider the industry's toughest and most durable industrial exterior grade paint and clear finishes to make arrows with. What started the company was I built some arrows that I used the old lacquer products, and I couldn't handle the smell of it at all. And I knew of a product that would work, so I tested it. I lost an arrow and found it a month and a half later, and it was still intact. There was no peeling, cracking, checking, anything like that. So that was the arrow that actually started the line, the paint line and finish line for True North Arrows. It's in my home. It's a grassroots company based here in Michigan. So I put a lot of arrows out. I think I can do 88 dozen drying time, but that's quite a bit considering, I'm working by myself. It's a very stress relieving job, I'll say. I personally think once you shoot them side by side, you're going to be amazed at how forgiving a wooden arrow can be. When we're shooting traditional, whether we're shooting a longbow or a recurve, we're going back to the heart of archery. So therefore, if we're going to go back to the heart of archery, let's do that with wooden arrows. Not because I sell them, but that is what it's really about, is getting back to the tradition.
Getting back to the tradition includes building arrows in the old style with modern finishes. Cresting is an ancient technique to embellish the arrow to tell them apart. Using another Michigan-made product, the Spin Right Crester, Joe puts his signature on each and every arrow. Cresting was an important part of an arrow in the old days when all arrows were made virtually the same.
Then I put it right on the tape where I'm going to go with the next one. Some guys will make a small pattern.
Those are patterns we got right there? Okay.
Well, originally everybody would shoot, so it was your pattern that you picked out would be your cresting pattern. Some guys use the same pattern, same colors on all their arrows their whole lives. I get bored with one. I just switch them off, so.
Nowadays, dipping and cresting arrows is really just for looks, but boy do they look good. As you can see, building an arrow is a time-consuming process, but it all pays off when you get to hunt with one of these beauties. Joe has been hunting his whole life and has had a lot of success with traditional gear.
Killed a few deer in Michigan here, quite a few actually, with recurves and longbows. I did kill a deer with the very first longbow I built, with the very first set of arrows I ever built a few years ago, and that was published in Michigan Longbow magazine. That was pretty cool. Traditional hunting gets me closer to the animal, period. My job as a bow hunter is how close I can get to the animal, not how far I can shoot. I've had deer show up at the base of a tree stand, have to wait for them to step out far enough to get a clean shot. I will not take a long shot. I will not do that to an animal. I don't care how big he is. I've hunted Montana with a gun. I've hunted Vancouver Island, Alberta. I've done everything I've wanted to do with a gun, but now everything is with a bow. It's no different than shooting hoops. If you can throw a ball, you can shoot traditional. I just think it's true archery. It's true hunting the way we were meant to hunt. I'm not a fan of the training wheels. I'm not a fan of, but if that's what somebody wants to use, I don't have a problem with it. So.
Joe has a passion for the history of archery and has gone through great lengths to match some of the vintage paint colors with his paint line. This has resulted in some gorgeous arrows that you'd swear your grandpa used to shoot. He's even caught the attention of the folks at Bear Archery, who recently signed him as the exclusive producer of their signature arrows. Spending time with Joe helped me understand the allure of sending a hand-built wood arrow downrange.